Can you hear?
We sure can, sir.
Outstanding. I want to say to everyone who's listening tonight, the global reset cannot be stopped. For everyone who is out there who keeps saying, well, what if I index and someone comes up and they just stop me from being able to index, that it's impossible. You know, see, had they been awake back in the year of 2000, Y2K for you, had they been awake, they possibly could have stopped everything that's going on right now. But believe it or not, we did. Ourselves, we corresponded with them in 2000. We let them know that we were going to reset everything in 2000. We let them know that in 1999, you know. But everybody was partying like it was 1999, even in the year before that. They were partying like it was 1999. And in 1999, everybody was so busy partying. When we told them what we were going to do in 2000, they missed it. So Y2K came and it went. A lot of you now probably still got old water saved up. You got some old batteries saved up. You probably even, you know, made sure you kept your computer turned off so that would-be Michelangelo worm didn't eat it up. But, you know, they've had you under a scare tactic where you really missed what was really going on. And Y2K was where everyone was to have identified themselves, because the world began to replenish itself, reinstate itself, restore itself, repair itself. The earth began to do that in the year of 2000. That's 2000 when Jesus the Christ came back 2,000 years ago. That's what they did. They began to rebuild the planet. A lot of you missed it. I have to be honest with you, and I'm telling you, that's why it's so important now for you to rush to catch up with the rest of the world. Those nations that my beloved host, our beloved host, is telling us about right now, they're already indexed. They're indexed. You know, we got nations like Brazil and a lot of other nations that are still trying to index themselves. America has a lot of people that's indexed, but that nation is not indexed, and neither will it ever be able to be indexed. Why? Because they missed their deadline. Purposely, they missed their deadline. They didn't tell anybody because they just believe that if they didn't tell anybody, it's the old American way. Monkey see, monkey do. It's the old American way. If nobody sees it, nobody's going to say anything. Those that do see it, they're not going to say anything. So if we just act like we don't see it, it'll go away. That's exactly what America was saying. And the people were saying that. The people were saying, well, Y2K, I don't see what's really going on. I don't think it's really going to happen. It was happening right under their nose, and they were missing it. You want to know what happened after Y2K that night, midnight, when the clock struck 12, and they looked up, and it was 0000 hours, and everybody looked around, and they was like, my computer's still on. Some people were like, my electric is still on. Other people were like, hey, I never got that bill for myself to be evicted. So they just believed they beat or they got past Y2K. Most of the bankers were like, well, Y2K came and my account is still open. I didn't get shut down. They didn't take a penny from me. But they missed it. It was a reset that took place. That reset was set up for a time frame. On the 23rd century, everyone was to explode from the would-be backdraft of everything that was done in 2000. That's what's happening right now. Year 2023, they were told that everything was going to explode. That's what's happening now. They were told that. The United States knew it, Russia knew it, China knew it, Japan knew it, France knew it, the UK knew it, Canada knew it. I could go on and on, people, because all of them knew. Everyone on the planet was talking about Y2K. You couldn't go to the UK and not hear about Y2K. You could not go to the Amazon and not hear about Y2K. You cannot go to Brazil. You cannot go to India. You cannot go to Iraq or Iran. You cannot go to South Korea or North Korea. You cannot go to Vietnam. You cannot go to any nation, Taiwan, Thailand. You can go to any nation where everyone was not knowledgeable of Y2K. It's just that all of them refused to do anything except those nations that are now classified, and you keep hearing us call their names, which tells you the United States of America, out of all those nations, was the last nation to be those that were to identify themselves and index themselves. And you want to know something? They were given a 5-year window, and they purposely missed it. They were given a 10-year window, and they purposely missed it. They were given a 20-year window, and they purposely missed it. They have been given a 23-year window, and America has purposely missed it because they wanted to believe that all the nation was going to consistently do what they had done in the past, and that was to do nothing more than give them loans after loans after loans after loans just for them to survive and just for them to exist. And that is not happening anymore. I'm telling you right now, the war is going on because America wants Russia to really battle with the Ukrainians so that the Russians would have to give America money for weapons to destroy Ukraine. But at the same time, the Ukrainians are fighting because they are looking for America to give them money to buy weapons to destroy Russia. So it's like they want them to fund it. But America don't have any money, period. So America has to look outside its would-be so-called window to find some lenders. So the lenders that they're looking for is for, you got it, the UK or Canada or France or Brazil or even Iraq, Iran. That's why they keep talking about selling them would-be so-called weapons. Those weapons that America is selling and giving, read your paper, read your would-be. If you believe anything about your so-called media, at least read it. If you don't believe it, read it. A lot of them got points. They're giving you facts. America is giving out equipment, just like the UK is giving out equipment. They all are giving support to Ukraine. But the equipment they're giving Ukraine don't work. It's inoperative. I told you guys that before. You thought it was planned. So they came back and they started printing it. They started telling you what Dr. Anderson is saying. They use my name. No, they're not going to do that. Just be quiet. They're not going to tell you it was me who told them the truth and let them know what was going on. But they're doing it. They're letting you know that now the support that Ukraine received was equipment that was broken. It was equipment that was inoperative. It was equipment that could not do, it was not capable of being used unless somebody repaired it. I told you that. I told you the average F-16 is sitting in what is known as the American motor pool. That means it is under maintenance. For all of them that are not under maintenance, they're being done nothing more. You're right. They're running multiple investigations on them. They want to know why the landing failed. They want to know why the left wing keeps on falling off. They want to know why the engine keeps having this loud ticking in it. They want to know why when the fuel comes out, it leaves. Somebody just said, chemtrail. You're right. They want to know what is this, all of this pollution coming out the back of it. They don't know. They couldn't understand the chemtrail. They don't even understand that there's a bunch of chemicals that they try to use. Instead of using the regular fuels, they try to use these chemicals, these so-called nuclear chemicals. They try to use it, and it's called them chemtrails. You call them chemtrails. I call it gases. Nuclear, biological, chemical gases. Yeah, nuclear, biological, chemical gases. All of it part of the overall fight. People, I'm telling you the truth. No, they need me to tell them the truth. Some of them didn't know what those gases was coming out of the rear end of the F-16 fighters. The senators, I'm not going to be on their side, but I got to tell you, the majority of them sat in those seats with no clue, no knowledge of what they're getting themselves into. They had no clue. No, I'm not angry with all of them. A lot of them call me. A lot of them text me. I didn't know. I'm going to resign. I'm resigning this year. I'm not going to run for election again. I know you're not. But you can't leave that. I tell them you can't leave that until you clean up some of that stuff. You cannot leave there and let someone else win the election, come in, and kill off the rest of the people. You got to let them know the truth before you leave that. Because if you do that, you're going to be also held accountable and responsible for the lives in which will be lost due to the fact you ran with knowing the truth. You already know that the F-16 fighters are the worst would-be aircraft to put in the air. They put out a lot of chemtrails, but they're not as accurate as everyone said they are. They were made at Lockheed Martin, Fort Worth, Texas, Lockheed Martin. They already know where those aircraft come from. They know how they were put together. They also know that they've been working on trying to repair it and trying to, I would say, better the plane. They're trying to make it better. And that would be a good thing, to make it better. You know, you ask yourself, how can you have a fighter jet that's in worse condition than an airliner that's going from Georgia to Mississippi? How can you have a fighter jet in worse condition than an airliner that's going, stay with me, from Alabama to Mississippi? That ain't a long way. That's right across the way there. Maybe a couple hours, it better be in there. Why is it in better condition than an F-16 fighter that could possibly be flying over 3 or 4 different nations? I'm just saying. It's for you to figure it out, not me. I'm just telling you what's happening. You got to understand those F-16 fighters are in your skies, too. A lot of you have military bases around you. Georgia, full of military bases. Georgia, full of military bases. Fort Stewart, just to name a few. They're changing the names now. Fort Benning, I'm just naming a few. Texas, full of military bases. Air Force and Army and Navy, full of it. All of the states in America is full of military bases. And these F-16 fighters, they fly over all of them. They don't just fly over where they can land. They fly over all of them. They have maneuvers. They do battle maneuvers all the time. They do air shows in just about every state around America. Air shows. Yes. Every now and then they have a crash or two. But they do air shows. Every year, around May, June, July, they do air shows. I'm just giving you a time frame. They haven't been having air shows recently because they're trying to put all those aircraft, you're right, they're trying to put them to use for the war. They're going to have to fight soon. So you got to start putting them together, repairing them, making sure that the wings don't fall off, making sure that the engine don't take, make sure that they don't spray them chemicals somewhere that they don't need them to be. They fly over there. They fly over the airway. They fly over the waterways. They fly over the lakeways. They fly over pondways. I'm just telling you. And when that stuff hits the ground, it gets absorbed by whatever it lands on. It absorbs it. That's why your lakes are contaminated. Your oceans are contaminated. Your mountains are contaminated. Your valleys are contaminated. Yes. And everybody's wondering, well, why is there a tree growing out the side of the mountain? And you figure out the mountain has been softened. It's not as hard as it used to be. And it's only waiting itself to start dripping down off the side where that same tree is going to be on fire and it's going to be sliding down that mountain towards you. I'm just telling you what's about to happen. I know it's scary. I understand that. But because things are scary, you best and must be prepared for them. You have to be. Yes, you have to be prepared for them. Who cares? You might have to grab up a couple of gothic would-be so-called balls and put them on a string and go hang them outside the house. That's your business. I don't care about what you got to do to try to ward off evil. That's your business. All I'm telling you is that you better be prepared because evil's going to come your way. I'm talking about the wars. The wars and rumors of wars. But the end is not yet. I'm talking about there will be fathers against sons, mothers against daughters, and vice versa. I'm telling you that there will be where one brother will grab and take hold of another brother. One will say, no, you let me wear your coat. No, let me wear your shoes. No, you go and be the leader of those people. I don't want nothing to do with them. I am not prepared for this. I'm just telling you what's about to happen. No, these are not my words. It's in the book. Read the book. You always want somebody to act it out. You want me to act it out for you? Read the book. It's right there in the book. You want me to do a documentary. You want me to act it out. You want me to be the character behind it. Stop it. Just read the book. Why don't you just read the book? I'll interpret it for you. If you don't want to hear my interpret, don't call me. I won't interpret it for you. And you can go to somebody that's going to give it to you in a manner where it's going to be nice and sweet. And you can accept that. You want somebody to be sitting next to you reading a horror book and you want them to make it sound nice. Come on now. Little children don't like that. Kids, babies don't like that. You're reading a book, they looking and seeing a ghost on it, and you're reading it like the ghost of Mary and having a good time. He got on a Santa Claus suit, but he's still a ghost. They're looking at you like, are you serious? Stop it, people. Read the book. The book has already told you what was going to happen. I am nothing more than an interpreter for the word. I'm telling you the way it's going to be, and I am an interpreter for the laymen. The laymen are those who are going to have to perform the task. You're going to have to perform the task. You are a layman. You're not going to be able to read the book and go to sleep and somebody else perform the task. You're going to have to perform the task. That's why I'm telling you read the book. This is not one of those situations where you read the book. Juliet, she poisons herself after Romeo poisons himself, mistaken, not knowing what he was up to, not knowing what she was up to, so they destroy themselves together hand in hand. That's not the way it happens. You can't read the book because you must read the book, because you're going to be the person that's going to have to perform the task. Now, the United States of America, I think got a lot of work to do. We've come through a major time where we were to be meeting. We kind of had to make some changes. That happens sometimes. Situations come up. No, we were not in no fear whatsoever, but we have to make changes sometime because we don't want to put others that are at that position where they don't want to be in danger or they don't want to find themselves being threatened. So we make sure that we make a provision for that. We make changes, and I'm okay with that. Making changes is good. Change is good sometimes. So we're going to go forward with the changes that we made. But I must get you to understand that indexing right now is major. A lot of you have been given an extra opportunity, an extra time, if I might say, to get indexed. America ran out of time 23 years ago. They ran out of time for indexing. Year 2000 was America's year to index. And even though they bought it to everybody like it was just going to be one of those times that if you wake up after the midnight of 2000, you're going to be saved. That made it sound like that, but they didn't tell everybody the truth. And it's been 23 years since 2000 hit this planet where everybody was to be identified. And America has still not given those people mercy. They have not given those people love. They have not given them people truth. They have not given those people peace. They have not given those people freedom. They have not given those people justice. In other words, America has done anything to save the many millions of Americans that are still out there that need to index themselves. And I can assure you there are 7 billion people on this planet now that have indexed themselves. And America only has 329 million people and counting. And the majority of them are still running around with their heads tucked inside of a turtle shell. As if though they want to tell the world, we haven't heard anything about it. We don't know what's going on. Let me help you out. In the court of law, they tell you ignorance is not an exception to the law. So you go right ahead and play ignorant if you want to. The law of this world says that the unrighteous will perish and the righteous will survive. That is the law of this land. And you go right ahead Act as if though you don't know the law of the land. I got work to do. I told you, I don't get a choice. I would that every man should be saved, so I got to work. I got to keep talking to you. I got to keep bringing you into this reality of the truth. I just know that one day coming soon, you're going to have to recognize it, because it's going to be a dreadful day. Everything is going to go dark. Everything is going to be black. Everything is going to come to a stop. The earth is going to be shaking. There's going to be fire on one side, water coming on another side. It'll be shaking on another side and another side. You got to believe that old would-be so-called. You got it. Water, fire, shaking. And that war, it's not going to stop anything. It's going to be part of it. Americans, let's get yourselves together. Let's get indexed. Let's get ourselves together for this awakening, for this new world. Not the new world order, the new order for the world. I looked outside my window. Wow, it's gotten dark out there. But I'm okay with that. Sit outside my window there, the candle. A few other lights, don't know what they're all about. Saying they have trouble in the land, but I'm focusing on the candle. And the candle is on a little small desk. There is a little man that's sitting there. He says that we still got a little bit of time left on this one. So I'm going to take his word for it. I'm going to go and use that time. Remember, every moment that's got light for me, like another day. Man must work while it's still day, for a night coming, no man can work. My work must go on. It has to. Can't stop now. But as for you, you got a moment where the darkness is coming in on you. Watch those stars twinkle. I know the moon is hiding behind the cloud. Wait a minute, it'll come out. It's only hiding. It's playing games with you. It's a game called Peapod. It'll come out in a minute. But go ahead. Don't wait for it that long. Close your eyes. Relax. Just know that it will come out. Get you some rest. Peace and love.